Yo, welcome to Mr. Potato Awesome Fitness Tips, my brothers. Today I have a fucking new segment for you guys. Something that I work very hard to build here, and it's the advanced dumbbells and dragons. Haha. Yo, I grew up as a big nerd. I grew up playing Dungeons and Dragons like a crazy person. And then I thought to myself, yo, I'm going to bring those same ideas, the character sheets on the Dungeons and Dragons, where there's a lot of stats about how your character should work in the imaginary world that you that you play in Dungeons and Dragons. So I brought that same type of idea to, let's see how it goes, to analyze how the fucking deadlift works. All the stats, all the fucking details about deadlifts, we are going to be exploring right now. Mm. So without further ado, we have there the name, like a classic character sheet, and the class of the fucking deadlift is foundational, meaning the deadlift will build strength and build size, the primary muscle qualities that we seek for when we are engaging in resistance exercise. Strength and size has different muscle, there has different properties, different qualities. As you can see in the base stats, we have strength, which is static strength, the maximum amount of force that you can generate, your absolute strength. Power, which is strength applied with speed, so the maximum amount of force that you can generate fast. Strength endurance, which is your ability to generate strength and keep generating strength over an extended period of time. And on the muscle quality size, hypertrophy, building muscle, getting fucking bigger, we have myofibular hypertrophy, which is the actual building actual contractile tissue, building more muscle fibers, making more muscle that can contract and generate force. Sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, which is filling up that fucking muscle with more fuel and metabolites, making it more resilient to acidity. And stretch mediated hypertrophy, which I would be pretending if I said that I understand what the fuck that how that works, because I really don't know, and science is still developing this concept. But do you think the thing you need to know is stretch mediated hypertrophy exists? So your muscles will grow larger if you introduce an overloaded stretch to the muscle. So let's kick this thing off, and the best way to understand a character sheet like that is just rolling, just start using it. So the first stat that we are going to see is strength. Is in a scale of 1 to 10, deadlifts rank as a fucking 10 in strength. To emphasize strength in your training, if you want to really build your strength on the deadlift and get fucking mega fucking strong, you need to be using a rep range of 1 to 3 reps, and always with 4 reps with at least 4 reps. No, at least no. From anywhere from 0 to 4 reps in reserve, meaning if you stay 4 reps before you actual fail the lift, before technical failure or muscular failure, you are already introducing a pretty significant stimulus to strength when using the deadlifts. That's why it's a fucking score of 10 in strength, because you don't need to go fucking crazy and destroy yourself using deadlifts. If it is heavy enough, if it is oh fuck, let me think about it. If the bar speed start to slow down, you are already introducing a significant stimulus to strength in the deadlifts. The 1 rep max that you should be emphasizing to improve upon your strength is anywhere above 80% is pretty great for fucking strength, pure static strength. Yo, what's up, Jason? How you doing, my brother? Praise Brodin, baby. Hell yeah, man. I prayed with a push routine earlier. This will be useful for legs on Saturday. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Let's see if I can finish this, because I'm fucking nervous. I think I exaggerated in the level of detail that I'm using here. Fuck. So, all right. To emphasize strength, 80% of your 1 rep max or above. So 85%, 9%, 95%, or even 100% are true 1 rep max. But always remember, you can be 4 reps shy of failure, and you can be working with 80%. So let's say your fucking deadlift is 100 kilos, you can deadlift 80 kilos for just 3 reps, even though you can do 7 reps if you want, and that will stimulate your strength. It will not be the maximum optimal fucking stimulus that you can introduce to the lift, but it will stimulate strength. It will improve upon your strength on the long term. So it's a great strategy to fucking cycling these percentages week by week. Let's say going back to 80%, then the next week go back to 85, then go to 9%, 95%, 100%, and then shoot for 105%. That's the way to go to fucking improve upon your strength with the deadlifts. The RT means rest times. So the rest time for fucking strength training is big as fuck. When you see a real power lifter, a guy that is strong as shit training, man, it's the deadlift session with 5 sets takes an hour and a half, because you need to be at least resting 4 minutes, and you can rest up to 10 minutes, even more if you are really, really strong and you are deadlifting above 600, 700. Yo, any amount of time that you need to rest is game, bro. And why is that the fucking rest time is so high? It's because there's three factors to fucking how long you should wait between one set and another. The first factor is your cardiovascular ability. So you need to be fresh. You shouldn't be breathing heavy before you enter a set. You need to be with your cardio fucking fresh. The second is local muscular fatigue, which means your muscles, as you do reps, they accumulate acidity, and metabolites start to get shoved to the muscle, shuttled to the muscle. And that process of clearing up that acidity and reducing the temperature of the muscle takes right around 2 to 3 minutes to clear off. And why the fucking deadlift require 4 to 10 minutes? It's because it's the central nervous system. Your nervous system get completely fried when you do deadlifts, heavy fucking deadlifts. So you need to be resting as long as possible for you to hit the same kind of quality in your sets that you hit before, you know? So if in the first set you go there, you do 3 reps with 140 kilos. In the second set, you shouldn't be going for 130, because you just rested 3 minutes. Rest 6 minutes, rest 7 minutes, and go for 140 again. Rest as long as you need to for your central nervous system to go back to where it was. And the number of sets each workout is right around 3 to 5 sets is pretty optimal. More than that, for strength, it's not really that great. It's not that it's not that great, but it's not really necessary. The second muscle quality that we have here to stimulate using fucking deadlifts is power. And power is strength applied with speed. So fucking sprinting requires power, jumping requires power, and fucking deadlifts will improve upon your ability to sprint, to jump, to knee motherfuckers on the face, to do any type of explosive kinetic motion. You will be improving upon if you use fucking deadlifts. And to improve upon your power, it's pretty much the same rep range. It's the same rep range as improving upon your strength. So 1 to 3 reps. The reps in reserve, here's where things start to get interesting. I put a 10 there, but it's actually infinite, because you will end your set when you are not explosive anymore. It's a little bit like fucking learning how to play a fucking instrument, you know, like a violin or a guitar. If you practice, let's say, if you practice low quality repetitions that don't emphasize what you want to build, what you want to learn, you are going to not stimulate that shit that you want to stimulate. So if you want to become more explosive and faster and more powerful, you need to only do powerful reps, so super fast, poof, you know? And as soon as the reps start to slow down, you finish your fucking set. So you will be using 50% of your 1 rep max. From 50 to 70%, you can be introducing a dynamic style of training. This is pretty much something that Louis Simmons from Westside Barbell used to use in his programs. It's you use anywhere from 50% of your one rep max to 60% of your one rep max. So again, if you can deadlift fucking 100 kilos and you want to improve upon your power, you will train with 50 kilos and 60 kilos and do 1 to 3 reps fucking fast as fuck. And the rest times between each set is super low. It's 1 to 2 minutes. And here your cardiovascular capacity will be really challenged. So it's pretty interesting to get a cardio routine outside of fucking power training in check, because power training is a bitch. The weights are low, but as soon as you try this shit out, you see, fuck me, it's hard to execute. And the number of sets per workout is right around 6 sets to 10 fucking sets. So a lot of sets, low. It's pretty much pretty analog to high intensity interval training. You will be doing short bursts of really fast, really intense reps, and rest a little bit, and then go again for 6 to 10 rounds. It's gnarly fucking stimulus, bro. And why use fucking power training? Let's say if you are just a regular guy like me, it's because for your strength, your overall total strength on the fucking deadlift, one of the things that will limit your capacity to deadlift more the most is your explosiveness, because you need to learn how to get out of the initial portion of the deadlift as fast as fucking possible. And to develop those muscle fibers, those fast twitch muscle fibers, you need to be fucking introducing power training to your program. So yeah, that's power, baby. Power, it's awesome. So right next is strength endurance. And strength endurance is something that a lot of people almost never hear about. And in my books, it's the real world strength. It's the strength that farmers and construction workers have. It's that strength to keep generating force for an extended period of time. Deadlifts are not that fucking great to do that, because you are putting a fuck ton of force. uh, there's a fuck ton of force going through your fucking spine, and that shit can be dangerous if you lose your fucking bracing, and if you lose your internal pressure, and your technique starts to go to the shitters, and you can really hurt yourself doing strength endurance work using deadlifts. But guys on CrossFit gyms, they fucking love doing that shit. And the people that I know that are the strongest that I've ever known, they never fucking did deadlifts once in their life. They are a couple of friends of mine that they have a soy farm, and they had to clear the fields, like big fucking giant boulders off of the ground all the fucking day. So man, that's the kind of work that will build strength endurance. So be careful with your technique. For the rep range, go M-rep, baby. As many reps as possible. You just pick the fucking bar with 25% of your one rep max, and you just go until you can't go anymore. And the zero RIR means failure, né? And failure in this context is technical failure. It's not muscular failure. You are not waiting for something to pop off. You need to wait until you fucking can't maintain your fucking position anymore. Whew, deadlifting is so relaxing to me. Man, deadlifting is fucking awesome. And my dog destroyed my deadlift, the stuff that I used to deadlift off, and I'm not being able to do deadlifts for now. I need to buy a new, either a platform or a mat. You know those jiu-jitsu mats. I was using jiu-jitsu mats to deadlift from, but yeah. So rest times in strength endurance training, you will use 3 to 5 minutes between each set, and you use 1 to 3 set stops. One set of strength endurance training is already fucking gnarly. It's already a fuck ton of stimulus, and you will be sore for fucking days, bro. So be extremely careful with this fucking shit. I know people on CrossFit are always doing this kind of work, but I'm not really a big fan of it myself. Yeah, but it works. It works. You will be able to, like, be really strong in the real world. Jiu-jitsu is a great fucking example for that. For you to be able to fucking apply strength in another person on another person over and over and over again for 8 to 10 minutes, it's hard as shit. And this type of strength is the strength that I'm saying that really correlates to real world strength, you know. So the next category here is myofibular hypertrophy, and now we are moving to hypertrophy, to muscle building. The other three are strength qualities, and this one is a size quality, is building size upon the muscle through myofibular hypertrophy. And deadlifts are fucking gnarly for that. A fucking 10 out of 10 score, and use a rep range from 4 to 10 reps with 4 reps on the tank. So you can go, if you want to go further and go all the way to failure, technical failure, yet again, you can go. But if you are working in the 4 to 10 rep range with at least 70% of your run rep max, and you leave 4 fucking reps in the tank, bro, that's enough fucking stimulus to build myofibular hypertrophy, because the move is so great. You know, it's because the fucking deadlift is stimulating everything from top to bottom. It's not because, oh yeah, that's the way I'm going to train every fucking muscle. No, it's the deadlift that can do that. With the deadlift, you can leave a lot of reps in reserve and still get a gnarly stimulus to get jacked, motherfucker. Yeah, and the fucking rest times for myofibular hypertrophy is 3 to 5 minutes. You can do 3 to 8 sets per workout. And here you might be thinking, yo, 8 sets, are you fucking insane? And no, bro, it's because me personally, when I do deadlifts, I do deadlifts. I take the day to do deadlifts, you know? So I start really slow, and I ramp up. I start with the bar and one plate at each side, and I just go adding plates, going really slow, warming up really good. This reminds me that I didn't put a warm up instructions here. So next time I need to put it. Warm up instructions are pretty important. So, and do 8 working sets of deadlifts at 75 to 80% of my 1 rep max, and whoo, next day my traps are popping off of my shoulders, inserting right on my ears, bro. It's insane. It's fucking awesome. Sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, which is emptying all of the fuel that is in the muscle to really pump it up and increase upon the amount of fuel that is in the muscle. The deadlifts fucking suck for that, because you are using so many muscles that you are not going to empty any one of them. And when you reach, if by a miracle you manage to maintain your fucking posture to reach that kind of shit, you probably break your fucking back in the process, you know. So if you, either way you want to do deadlifts for 10 reps plus, be my guest. Use 50% of your 1 rep max. Go just to technical failure. Never ever go to muscular failure. Use 2 to 3 minutes of rest times, and 2 to 3 sets is more than enough if you're doing that many reps with a fucking deadlift. You might notice here that in the strength endurance category, I gave a 7 points to strength endurance, but only 5 points for sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. And pretty much the idea is the same, is going to failure and working with high reps. But the difference is, in strength endurance work, we are using only 25% of our 1 rep max. So a guy like me, today I'm deadlifting right around 177, 187 kilos. I will be using 50 kilos for as much reps as I fucking can. So even less than 50 kilos. And the thing that is going to feel awful eventually will be my fucking traps. The traps start to feel like crazy sore when you are doing strength endurance work. And your forearms and your grip are going to become fucking strong as shit. So yeah, the strength endurance, I didn't comment it before on the strength endurance section, but that's one of the great usages of this style of training, is to build a gnarly fucking iron claw of a grip, you know. Try it out, baby. Try it out, and you try it out, and you'll fucking love it. What's up, City Hamasai? How you doing, my brother? Oh yeah. Whoa. What are you guys thinking of this fucking shit? Is just too fucking complicated? Is it easy to see all the fucking stats on the screen or not? Because I can adjust it on the next one. Maybe put one section instead of using just one a single stat sheet. Use multiple stat sheets. I'm also going to be releasing this motherfucking thing on Quora for you guys to pick it up, and in case you wanna have this shit. And yeah, so stretch mediated hypertrophy. Listen, the deadlift is pretty good for this. The thing is, you are not going to a super hyper hyper stretch position ever in a standard deadlift unless you are introducing a deficit deadlift. And if you are introducing a deficit deadlift, then I would ramp that stretch mediated hypertrophy to fucking 10. But in the standard fucking deadlift, the thing is, your traps will experience insane stretch mediated hypertrophy, even though they are only isometric contracting. They are not moving. You're not moving your traps when you are doing a deadlift. In fact, when you are deadlifting, you don't use your upper body. You just keep your upper body as tight as possible. You don't move a single thing. The only thing that is going to be moving in a deadlift is the fucking legs. You need to imagine you are fucking leg pressing the world away from you. That's the fucking way to fucking deadlift as hard as fucking possible. And for the stretch mediated hypertrophy, you have a great stretch on your glutes, on your hamstrings, and on your traps. And to emphasize this stretch on the glutes and the hamstrings, it's actually the way you will conjure your glutes and your hamstrings on the deadlift. It's by sitting back. You sit back, you make sure your shoulder line is behind the barbell, and you sit on your heels, you know, and you feel your fucking glutes engaging and your hamstring. Feeling the hamstrings is a little bit tricky, but the glutes is easy. You fucking, when you sit back, you already feel the fucking glutes engaging, and when you are almost feeling that you are going to fall back, you start leg pressing the world away from you, and the deadlift will do itself. You don't need it. Don't even need to think about anything else. So the characteristics down there, we have compound factors. Compound factors mean how many fucking joints are you moving, how many muscles are going to be stimulated by a single fucking exercise. In the deadlift, the only thing that I can think of that is not being stimulated during the deadlift is the chest. And outside of that, your entire fucking body is going to be stimulated with a fucking deadlift. So the compound factor for the deadlift is 5 fucking stars, bro. Boom. Hell yeah. Time efficiency. The time efficiency of the deadlift, you guys probably already know this. You can go to the gym, spend 30 minutes on fucking deadlift, ramp up to 3 sets of something like 70% of your 1 rep max for 4 to 10 reps, the myofibular hypertrophy guidelines I presented up there, and that will be better than doing fucking lat pull downs and seated cable rows and a lot of fucking other shit. You can do 5 other exercises and you will not get the same type of benefit that you are going to be getting with a single session of deadlifts. So fucking deadlifts for time efficiency, bruh, is insane. It's fucking 5 stars too. Now here's something that is a little bit controversial, maybe. Beginner friendly. I think the fucking deadlift is extremely beginner friendly, you know? Sometimes people are afraid of deadlifting because they are afraid of destroying their fucking backs. But listen, it's literally picking something up from the ground. And if the person that is instructing you in the deadlift just say to you, yo, stabilize, keep the upper body tight and locked. Don't move the upper body and just press the world away with your feet. Most people, just with that simple cue, instantly deadlift correctly. And when people start talking about like, yo, overarching, hyperextending, and start giving a fuck ton of other information, they take the autonomy of the brain to assume the best leverage as possible, because the brain does that. The brain knows how to pick stuff from the ground, and they start overthinking and trying to apply something, some technique, something that they saw online, and it is at that time that people start to get fucked up using deadlifts. So deadlifts are extremely beginner friendly if you don't overcomplicate it. So 4 stars for fucking beginner friendly. And moving forward, learning curve. The learning curve for the deadlift is a 5 star, and the criteria that I'm using here is that you will be always learning new things to use in your fucking deadlift. Yeah, I know I just said that it's super simple and just pick something up from the ground, but as you progress, as you start on the deadlift, you go there, you put 40 kilos on the bar, and you struggle to do that, and later, a couple of months later, you are deadlifting 80 kilos, and then a couple of months later you are deadlifting 100 kilos, and you start to get addicted to that feeling of getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And then you look at yourself in the mirror, and you're starting to look like a henchman, it's starting to look like you belong in a mob movie or something. And fuck, it's fucking insane, bro. You always looking for new ways to improve upon your deadlift. Like, I'm pretty close of deadlifting the exact same amount that I deadlifted 6 or 7 years ago when I was like 100 kilos fatter, So imagine that I'm 162 this morning, and I'm going to deadlift my best deadlift until the end of the year that I did 7 years ago when I was 255 pounds. I was a bloated mess, fat fuck. Woo! Let's see how much I say it. Sometimes I get lower back pain after squatting. You mean pain, or because pain, when we say pain, is like a sharp pain, a pain that's like in the moment that you are squatting, you feel something pinching a nerve, something really hurting, or it's a discomfort, or something like soreness, or something like just a slight tweak that might have happened in the squat. You need to pay close attention to this distinction, because sometimes people they have a slight tweak, and they start focusing on that in their minds. They start overthinking about that shit, and that's when you start to assume bad positions. That's when you start to getting hurt and more hurt using squats, deadlifts, and any movement that has a high axial loading of the spine component. The pain stays for 2 days. Need to revise the technique then. Well, what kinds of squats are you using? High bar squats, low bar squats? What, which one you are trying to emphasize? Like, if it is high bar, the bar sits on top of your traps. And if it's low bar, it sits right behind your rear delts here on this where my hand is. And usually on high bar squat, you scoot your butt back, and you bring more emphasis to your hamstrings and your glutes. And in the low bar squat, sorry, and in the yeah, experiment with lowering the weights and try high bar squats. Start trying to use high bar squats, because that scooching back of the of the butt to emphasize to execute the low bar squat. You start here and you go like this. It can be really gnarly on the lower back. Most people that I know that fucking got their lower back destroyed, demolished by squats, they were all using fucking low bar squats and following like something like starting strength, or a program that is always like 5 by 5 and ramping up weight, ramping up weight, ramping up weight non-stop. This is something that is really interesting in knowing this these differences on how to program, they are essentially what the best minds on strength training use it to fucking keep progressing indefinitely, like to reach like super ultra high levels of strength. Because let's say if you do a month of fucking pure strength training using 1 to 3 reps with 80 to 100% of your 1 rep max for 3 to 5 sets each workout, your body will start to get desensitized, and then you change to power training. You can even do this change. Louis Simmons on the West Side Method, he changed these styles of training workout to workout. So they would work for strength on the first day, or on the first training of the week, for power on the second workout of the week, and for myofibular hypertrophy on the fourth day of the on the third workout of the week. So this is one of the ways that you can use this information to improve upon your program and start progressing crazy fast. Because if you apply this motherfucking shit, I guarantee you guys, you will gain a fuck ton of strength. This is the best way to fucking approach deadlifts, and I vouch for it. I know this works. What's up, Mark? How you doing, boy? Hell yeah! At 56-year-old, I do best deadlift once a week or every other week. Fuck yeah! I'm going to cover that pretty soon, but yeah, I depends on fucking how much I'm crazy about hitting a fucking PR or not. When I want to hit a PR really badly, I deadlift a ton. I deadlift like 3 to 4 times a week. But I'm a crazy motherfucker. Like I have a great work capacity, and I did the Bulgarian method for a long time, so I developed the ability to survive, to survive a fuck ton of volume. So moving further here on the list, let's talk about health benefits, and it's a fucking 5. Oh fuck, I jumped. Yeah, health benefits. Fucking 5. The deadlift will put a fuck ton of stress on your nervous system. That will send your nervous system in DEFCON 5. It will make it inform the rest of your body. Holy shit, this motherfucker is insane. He's probably being enslaved by someone because he's carrying a fuck ton of fucking weight. No sane human being in the world would pick this fucking weight from the floor. And that will make your body send a fuck ton of testosterone to be producing a fuck ton of human growth hormone, improving your metabolism, improving your bone density, your ligament quality, your soft tissue quality. Everything gets better when you deadlift heavy or deadlift at all. So fucking deadlift for health, bro, is a 5-star, and it's a fucking I wish everybody in the fucking world did deadlifts. I was talking to my wife's grandpa that was in the hospital last week. He's better now, thank God. And and I was talking to him, and he was all frail, and he was beat up and walking all funny. And I was thinking to myself, bro, imagine if I met him 20 years ago. I would make this motherfucker do fucking deadlifts, and he would be fucking gigantic in his 80s. But anyway, let's move forward to injury risk. Injury risk, it's a trip because that looming fucked up information that I fucking hate the fact that people keep preaching that deadlifts are dangerous, deadlifts are going to break you in half. Bro, this fucking shit, you know why this notion spreaded like wildfire? It's because stupid motherfucking kids that are trying to play football, they go to the weight room together with their juices, their fucking testosterone overflowing their fucking body, and they start to be competitive with each other, and they fucking demolish themselves. And because of these motherfucking little pricks, the notion of deadlifts are dangerous got perpetuated. But it's not that great, the injury risk. It's not that high, the injury risk. And it was supposed to be a fucking 5, but people are so afraid of deadlifts that the injury risk becomes real. So yeah, injury risk 3. You can't really get fucked up using deadlifts if you overthink the fucking lift. But if you pay attention to your form, if you are a thinking human being that will, if you are looking at a fucking spreadsheet about fucking deadlifts, you are probably intelligent. I assume you are intelligent. And if you be natural with your movement, if you pay attention to the quality of your movement, you keep your fucking upper body tight as shit, and you express strength with vigor, you are not going to get injured doing deadlifts. And another thing, the injuries usually happen when you are going too fucking heavy and above three reps. I almost never saw anyone get injured doing a single or a double. It's usually when the guy is M-repping shit or going into the fifth rep, sixth rep, and the technique starts to break down. That's when the fucking injuries start to happen. So one consideration, it's something that I do in my program personally, is to I only lift singles. I do giant sets, you know. I go there, I do a rep, and I reset every fucking rep. So I review my cues, review my mental state, take a big breath, brace hard, and pull strong. Then drop the fucking weight to the floor again, reset everything again, and pull again. I don't touch and go. I don't stop on the floor and just pull again. I reset everything. I drop the bar. I look forward. I take a big breath and I go again. And then I add to the volume. Let's say if I'm doing for myofibrillar hypertrophy, I go for like 30 reps doing this kind of shit, like 3 sets of 10, but takes more time. But I never got hurt yet, and I do some stupid shit sometimes in fucking deadlifts. Like I go way heavier than I should be going because I'm immature as fuck. I love lifting heavy weights. Sri Hamasai said, I have a home gym and work out all by myself. Learned workouts online. We are two, because I did the exact same thing, bro. I only started to go to gyms when I decided to compete in powerlifting. I decided to compete in powerlifting here in my state. And when I was a big fat fuck, I wanted to be the biggest fat natural fucker in my state here in Brazil. And I discovered pretty fast that there's a there's a fuck ton of strong people here in my state, bro. And so I stopped competing and slimmed down to a more manageable weight. Oh yeah. So at the injury risk, if you don't get injured and you manage to get fucking strong on the goddamn deadlifts, then bruh, injury prevention is the main fucking thing that the deadlift is going to give you. The posterior chain, the hamstrings and glutes and everything, the everything that is on the back of your body, they protect your spine, which is one of the primary things that get butt fucked as you get older. And they are the thing that, and the hamstrings are the muscle that generates imbalances that end up fucking up your knees. So if you have weak hamstrings and super strong quads, which is the majority of the population in the world, your chances of blowing off your knees are way higher than if you have a balanced leg, a leg that has a strong hamstring and a strong quad. So the deadlift is insane to prevent injury, especially in sports. If you play basketball, if you play football, if you sprint, if you do whatever, deadlifts are awesome for injury prevention. Not to mention the health benefits that we talked before, like it increases your bone density like crazy, the ligament quality, everything that the force travels to gets stronger. You know, the concept, it's a concept called hormesis. When you put a stressor on a living being, on an organism, that stressor, the body identifies the stressor and tries to predict a way to not have that problem again. So it's fucking awesome. And lastly is fucking progression. So the progression means you can always improve on your deadlifts. The muscle qualities that you are emphasizing on the deadlifts, you can always keep improving. There will come a time where, let's say, if you are super specialized in strength, There will come a time where you will not be able to keep getting stronger and stronger and stronger. But then you can shift to another quality, shift to strength endurance, shift to sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, to stress mediated hypertrophy. You can tailor your fucking training to always be improving upon something. You see the guys from Elite FTS, the guys, they did so much stupid shit when they were young that their bodies are falling apart, but they still find ways to fucking find new records, not new ways to improve, new ways to feel strong again. Be it doing power training using using bands and chains, or using a different implement, like a different type of bar, like the tsunami bar that generates a balance. It messes up your balance when you are deadlifting. There's a myriad of ways to keep improving. So the progression for fucking deadlifts is absolutely awesome. Moving forward, now we are going to tackle this middle section right here: MV, MEV, MAV, and MRV. So MV is minimal volume, meaning the minimal volume you have to implement to keep the qualities that you built on the deadlift there, to maintain those fucking qualities. So the minimal volume on the deadlift is 0. You can actually spend a long time away from deadlifts, and for some fucking reason, if you don't fucking stop working out and you are doing other things, and like you are doing squats, you are doing some other form of deadlift, maybe Romanian deadlifts, or fuck, even leg presses, and doing whatever, lunges, you're doing other exercises that are great exercise. For some wild reason, it's the only lift that when I go back to it, I'm stronger all of a sudden. Like, I don't know fucking why, but deadlifts work that way for me and for a lot of people that I've trained with. So minimal volume for deadlift. And this is weekly volume. Sorry, I didn't specify that. It's weekly volume. How many sets you need to do in a fucking week? So zero. And minimal effective volume means the minimal amount of sets that you need to be introducing to get some progression, to progress a little bit, okay? Every week. Not progress every week, but the volume you introduce every week. It's 3 to 5 sets. If you do deadlifts once a week from 3 to 5 sets, you are going to be depending on which style of training you decided to implement, that muscle quality will be emphasized. Yo, thank you, Jason. Jason on the chat said, I came back from driving home. I love the graphic. You explain everything very well. Nobody does this and it is useful. Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. So I will try to do more of this kind of stuff then. So where were we? So we are, oh, okay. We 3 to 5 sets a week is the minimum effective volume. If you do 3 to 5 sets every week, and depending on the way that you which basic stat you decided to emphasize on your training, that muscle quality will improve. It will improve slowly, but it will improve for sure. Another thing that I forgot to say is that these 6 basic muscle qualities, they stack upon each other. They all contribute to one another. Let's say there are other muscle qualities like endurance, for instance, pure endurance, aerobic endurance. Aerobic endurance is contrary to strength. It's not complementary. Okay. If you build upon your aerobic endurance, you will potentially diminish your strength capacity, your overall your maximum strength capacity. But strength aids power. Power aids strength. Strength endurance aids strength. Myofibular hypertrophy aids strength. Strength aids myofibular hypertrophy. They all stack upon each other. So as you start to move your fucking volume up, let's say when you start to use your MAV, which is the maximum adaptable volume, which is a volume that you are getting the best stimulus before damage starts to be too fucking high. So in the MAV, you are using 6 to 10 sets. So let's say, how would you manage that? You could be doing on the first training, you do pure strength training. On the second workout of the week, you do pure myofibular hypertrophy training. And on the last one, since you are already beaten up from doing like a fuck ton of sets of fucking deadlifts for strength and for myofibular hypertrophy, on the last one you do power training, because power training, you use up way less weights, and you are improving upon your capacity to deadlift more weights overall on the long run. And lastly, the MRV, this motherfucker right there. The MRV is the maximum recoverable volume, which means it's the point where if you go beyond it, you are really risking getting butt fucked, either by getting desensitized or really just getting fucking too beat down by the movement. I don't know if you guys ever done something like this. Like I ran for a long while. I ran the Bulgarian system, which you do a heavy squat in 1 to 3 reps with 80 to 100% of your 1 rep max. I think the real Bulgarian system is 100% every fucking day, but I used from 80 to 100%, and every day 5x5 squats, 1 to 3 reps, 80 to 100% of your 1 rep max. And that shit is insane. By 15 days doing that fucking shit, my joints were all cold, my fucking shoulders hurt. I was having pains that had nothing to do with fucking squats, but somehow was there. So usually when you start to go above 15 sets of fucking deadlifts, bro, that's where problems start to happen. So ideally, you would stay between MEV and MAV in your training program. You can do an accumulation phase. Let's say for 2 weeks you will stay at MEV, then for 2 weeks you will stay at fucking MAV, and then for 2 weeks you will stay at MRV, and then you go all the way back to MV, or you deload. And here is the guidelines for fucking deloads. If you are a beginner, you're using fucking deadlifts trying to get strong as shit and big as fuck, you should be deloading every 16 weeks, meaning every 4 months, take a week off or reduce the weights to 50% and just do a light training session. I personally think you just fucking throw it all out and stop training for a week, just to give yourself a break, do a fucking vacation. You're not going to lose muscle, not going to lose strength. All the contrary, my friend, you are going to be resensitizing your fucking body and allowing your body to get more gains in the future. If you just keep training straight and never stop, your gains, they go like this, and then they plateau, and then they might even go down. And to avoid this kind of shit, when you are a beginner, every 4 months, take a break, take a week off. If you The only scenario that I think this is not interesting is if you think you will stop completely, and if that's really there's a chance for that to happen, then yeah, then don't don't take a break, bro. If you are intermediate, then fucking every 8 weeks. And now I discovered why I thought about putting strength standards before putting deloads, for the person to understand if he is a beginner or an advanced. Okay, I'm going to invert this. So let's go to the strength standards. Strength standards for a beginner starting deadlifts, what you should aim for, how much weight do you need to be moving, trying to fucking move, trying to fucking reach. It's 1 time your fucking body weight. Okay, so if you weigh 80 kilos, shoot for 80 kilos. You're not going to start at your fucking body weight. Most people don't start at their body weight unless they have awesome genetics for strength. And if you started with your fucking body weight and you didn't progress, it's because you are overthinking this shit, and you should be progressing way faster than that. But yeah, your fucking body weight on the deadlift is a most natural standard for you to be achieving in a matter of 1 to 3 months. Later, people usually say that you become an intermediate when you are training for at least 1 year, in at least 1 year of training. But I would say that you become an intermediate when you fucking reach 1.5 your body weight on the fucking deadlift. So if you weigh 100 kilos, I want to see you fucking deadlifting 150 kilos. If you weighed 80 kilos, I want to see you fucking deadlifting 120 kilos. And that's not a 1 rep max. I should make this distinction. This is right around a 5 rep max. Okay, so your body weight for 5, your 1.5 your body weight for 5 for an intermediate, and for I put lifter because I don't like the idea of advanced, because who is advanced? What determines if you are advanced or not? You know, it's about the information, how much you move. Some of the strongest dudes that I've ever met are a bunch of numbnuts, and they don't know a single thing about fucking deadlifting. They deadlift with terrible form, and either way, they're strong as shit. So instead of the advanced, I put lifter here because if you pass the barrier, if you reached 2 times your fucking body weight, man, then you are just a lifter, you know. That shit will stay with you. You will never be able to go away from the fucking barbell. And if you do, you will probably fall in a deep depression. So yeah, that's it, bro. That's what I had prepared for you guys today. Let me see what Jason said here in the chat. And this was the fucking advanced dumbbells and dragons. Thanks for watching. If you are watching this later, and yeah, let's see what the chat has to say here. Woo. I'm an intermediate lifter because I don't have the clueless look on my face at each machine. Awesome. My brother is fat as fuck right now, and he started going to the gym like a couple of months ago. And bro, he asked me to go with him, and yeah, of course. And bro, that shit that you said is so true, man. He sits in the machines, and sometimes I even let him like try to figure the thing out because it's so fucking funny. Like a guy sits on the fucking pack deck and don't know what the fuck what the fuck he has to do, and I think, look, man, there's handles in front of you, move it. It's so simple. Oh god damn it, bro. God damn it. Well, that's it, guys. Thanks for being here with me today. And tomorrow I'll be back. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what kind of content I'm going to do. I think I'm going to do another one of these ones. Is there any exercise that you guys prefer me to do? That you guys want to know more about how to program and shit? Or I should just fucking do squats, bench presses and shit. Lat pull down. Bah. Do a fucking 50-minute breakdown the lat pull down. I will do that. I will do that eventually, but I don't love lat pull downs enough to be able to do that right now. So okay, bros. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for being here with me. Stay on the iron path, my brothers.